The most fearless man in 1,000 years has arrived. Who is he, and why did he come looking for Han Li? In the preview of episode 167, Han Li travels to a trade fair with El Luo, Mu Piling, and others. Honestly, the Mortal Cultivation production team really knows what we want, fellow cultivators. What do you think of Mu Piling's brand new look? Back to the story. On the way to Xianxia City, Han Li, with his powerful mid-nascent soul divine sense, detects two cultivators approaching at an astonishing speed. At this point, he has no idea that one of them will later become his strongest ally, his top-ranking brother. That man is Marquis Nanlong. Marquis Nanlong is a mid-nascent soul cultivator and a big shot in the southern region. His family background is even more extraordinary. He's the descendant of the legendary rogue cultivator sovereign Xianxia, who once single-handedly suppressed both righteous and demonic forces. A man worthy of being called #1 in the south. When Marquis Nanlong finds Han Li, he releases his mid-nascent soul pressure without holding back. El Luo senses trouble and hurriedly steps in to greet him with a smile, hoping to ease the tension through his family's old ties with the Marquis. But Nanlong gives him no face at all and coldly turns to Han Li. "Boy, dare to test your divine sense against mine?" He even throws down a threat. If Han Li refuses, he'll forcibly trade for Mu Piling. Mu Piling turns pale with fright. As it turns out, the powerful figures behind the Heavenly Sword City Trade Fair had agreed to a silent rule to avoid offending nascent soul cultivators. Forced trades are allowed within a 1,000-mile radius. Han Li, ever cautious, doesn't respond immediately. He calmly observes Marquis Nanlong, suspecting this isn't just a test of divine sense. Having cultivated the Great Evolution technique, Han Li's spiritual sense is no weaker than his opponent's. He's also curious about the Marquis' true intentions. So, he accepts the challenge. With a time limit of 1 incense stick. At first, both sides probe without using their full strength. But soon, Marquis Nanlong realizes Han Li's divine sense far exceeds expectations and unleashes his full might. Yet Han Li remains calm and composed, perhaps even stronger than him. Surprisingly, this makes Marquis Nanlong very pleased. It turns out that he had been searching for someone with powerful spiritual sense to help unlock the supreme wondrous realm within the relic left by Sovereign Xianxia. The contest ends in a draw. Marquis Nanlong secretly transmits a message to Han Li, revealing his intentions and promising generous rewards, even allowing Han Li to choose one treasure in advance. Ever since advancing to the nascent soul stage, Han Li had felt his cultivation progress slowing. Naturally, he wouldn't miss such a rare opportunity. As soon as the trade fair ends, he sets out with Marquis Nanlong toward the relic. It's worth noting that a familiar figure is also in the group, Wang Chan. Since the relic lies within the Mulan Prairie territory hostile to the southern region, they must pass through tribal lands filled with danger. Along the way, they stumble into an attack led by a Mulan Divine Master. Their cover blown, the group has no choice but to split up and flee. Han Li is relentlessly pursued by the strongest Divine Master. He activates his Wind Thunder Wings and Flying Shield at full power, but the enemy rides a divine chariot just as fast. In a flash of inspiration, Han Li stops and turns, catching the enemy off guard. Without a word, he unleashes a rare treasure and attacks. Though both are early nascent soul cultivators, Han Li clearly has the upper hand. Within a few exchanges, he slays the pursuer and claims both the divine chariot and a massive treasure mountain. He then rushes to the relic site. When he arrives unscathed, the others are stunned. They saw with their own eyes how he was being hunted by the strongest Mulan warrior. Their respect for him grows immensely. With everyone present, they enter the relic and arrive at the entrance to the supreme wondrous realm. An old woman volunteers to break the formation with a specialized treasure. But the moment it touches the barrier, it shatters and she's badly injured, coughing up blood. And no one dares move again. Just then, Han Li clears his throat and steps forward. He had long studied the ancient formation manuals left by Xin Ruin, so this formation isn't difficult for him. Still, Han Li deliberately stalls, secretly opening a gap to let Silvermoon slip inside first. Half an hour later, he pretends to struggle and finally breaks the barrier. Everyone praises him, unaware that Silvermoon is already inside picking treasures. They eagerly enter the first level. The treasures here are ordinary, mostly magic tools, pills, and a few mysterious items. Marquis Nanlong divides them into 8 portions. Han Li chooses a bamboo-like magic tool, which will later become the host for the parasitic entity known as the Divine Eye Spirit Lord. In the second level, a sinister idol stands before them. Han Li is shocked to sense that it exudes the same aura as a terrifying shard in his possession. Beside the idol are 3 glowing jade boxes, sparking heated desire. In fact, there were originally 6. Silver Moon had already taken 3 in advance. At the sight of the boxes, the united group instantly turns on each other. The others join forces against Marquis Nanlong. The Marquis had hoped to rely on the white-haired elder accompanying him, but it turns out the man is a spy from the demonic flame sect and attacks him from behind. Marquis Nanlong is gravely injured in an instant. Desperate, he tosses a jade box to Han Li, forcing him to choose sides. The enemy sends a nascent soul cultivator to join Wang Chen and his wife in attacking Han Li. Han Li thought it would be easy, but with one blow, he defeats the nascent soul cultivator, and in a flash, severs both of Wang Chen's legs. He immediately escapes at high speed, leaving the others stunned. Marquis Nanlong seizes the moment, unleashes an ancient treasure to trap them, burns his own blood essence, and races after Han Li. The 2 of them vanish into the distance.